Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. For this video, I have a basic math trick for you guys, which is when you need to find out how many numbers are there. So that's the math trick. So note, just make this note, is that in these problems, we need to find the numbers in between each number, meaning that both numbers are not included. If that doesn't make sense to you, then let's go ahead and look at this practice problem. How many numbers are there between 18 and 26? So the reason I decided to include this on my channel is because it is very simple and easy to mess up on this. The problem is simple, but it's easy to mess up on this. That's why instead of just a long method and a short method, I also have the incorrect method. So let's go ahead and start with the incorrect method. So the incorrect method would just be subtracting the two numbers, 26 minus 18, and getting your answer, which in this case, when you subtract these two, would be 8. So if you do it this way, I'll highlight it in red so you guys know that it's wrong. So if you do it this way, you would get 8, but that is wrong. Now, the long method would be to list every single possible value. So it says in the note that we don't want to include both numbers, so we're going to start with the one after 18 in the long method, and that would be 19. Then we have 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, because we don't want to include 26. And as you can see, we listed out every single possible value, and when the numbers get larger and more separated, suppose if it was 18 and 2,600, nobody wants to do the long method and list out every single number from there. So in this case, now you just have to count it, so it's like another step. And when you count it, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And notice how it's different than the incorrect method. Now the incorrect method is very close to correct. It's just some people, I've done it myself a few times, will think that you just subtract. But no. When you subtract the numbers, it actually includes one of the values. But in the note, it says when solving these, you don't want to include both numbers. So you're going to have to subtract an extra one. So let's do the formula, or what you need to do. Subtract both numbers, and then subtract 1. So when it says subtract both numbers, that just means, in this case, 26 minus 18. Then you have to subtract an extra 1 since you're not including any of the values. So let's go ahead and do that. We start 26 minus 18, and we get that is equal to 8. And then we go ahead and subtract 1. 8 minus 1 equals 7. And as you can see, I'll change this to green to make it correct. It matches the long method, which is correct, and in this case, correct over here. Okay, so that's basically how it works. So it's very simple, just subtract the two numbers and then subtract 1. It's like a basic level math trick for, I would say, grades 1, 2, 3, but it's useful to use even in higher grades. It's just more generalized towards those grades. Now you guys can pause the video and attempt to solve these two practice problems, one of them more simpler than the other. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and saw it, because I will now be going over them. So let's look back to the formula. Subtract both numbers. Alright. 39 minus 7, always start with the larger one. And when you subtract 39 and 7, you'll get 32. Next step is to subtract 1. Okay, let's go ahead and subtract 1. 32 minus 1 equals 31. And the long method is a good verification, but for some of them you don't want to do that. But here it sort of proves that the short method works because you get 7 and 7 in both, so it proves that the short method works. Okay, so our answer here would be 31. Okay. Now, on the second practice problem, how many numbers are there between 109 and 3,467. Remember, first you subtract minus 109. So I actually, I don't know how to do this in my head because it's pretty long. If you guys know how to do it in your head, good job. But I'll go ahead and do the work over here. Okay, so first we can make this a 17. 17 minus 9 is 8. And since we borrowed, we make this a 5. 5 minus 0 is 5. Now 4 minus 1 is 3. And 3 minus 3 is 0, is 3. So our answer would be 3,358. But we have one more step of subtracting 1, so we go ahead and do that. And when we do this, we get the final answer as 3,357. So that's all for this very easy math trick. I hope most of you guys probably already knew how to do this, but just in case you didn't, this is very nice to sort of know, so you don't have to use the long method or the incorrect method, because you don't want to just also subtract 1, because for these particular problems we don't want to find both the numbers. They are not included when we want to find how many numbers are there, because the reason is it has the keyword between. Between does not include the numbers. That is how you know if you want to include them or not. So it's sort of like a trick question involving subtraction. So you don't just subtract the numbers. Well, yeah, that's all for this math trick. Thanks for watching. Bye.